what I know is I'm feeling just fine.
My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. What's happening? So, 2 for 1. I got time today, as people would say. Can the middle class stand the rain? So, with the quote unquote SNAP benefits, food stamps being cut, and then, people don't talk about it, but you have people who are working people, just working, working citizens of America, and people are getting fired. So now you're getting people who are getting fired, and people are quote unquote losing their benefits. So you got these two things happening. You get what I'm saying? So with that, you have people who might have been in the upper class or the middle class who are now unemployed. And then you have the people who are, in the poverty sentence, who don't have, quote unquote, money for food, right? During Thanksgiving and probably next month, Christmas too, because I'm pretty sure that the government shutdown, they've already passed November for sure, but I think they passed December too. So I say that to say, people don't think about the middle class, and people say, they've said the shrinking middle class too, right? So nobody's asking the question, so who are these people going to try to start leaning on? And I'm not just talking about the people who are, off of government assistance. I'm talking about the industries who've been poaching at the middle class for decades also. So basically, it's holiday season, and we're gonna get we supposed to be family got to look out for each other's speech. And a lot of times you're gonna get upper class family members, rich family members who take care of some people, but the brunt, the majority, the high majority of people who are going to be asking for help and asking for people to look out for them are going to be people leaning on people in the middle class. Now the question is, are you in a position to help them? And if you are, will you? You get what I'm saying? And if you're not in a position to help them, are you going to wear yourself thin trying? You get what I mean? But also, you got to take into consideration the other thing, because, and some of y'all know this, some of y'all don't. Now you got healthcare going up. So car insurance already went up, healthcare going up, right? This is part of the quote unquote shutdown, right? But it's not. So you got the cost of food and supplies going up. You got the cost of housing going up. You got the cost of medical insurance going up. You got the cost of car insurance going up. You got the cost of energy going up. Nobody's, trying to give people flat rates. You got the cost of credit. People are trying to give you this credit thing, like, hey man, if you get credit with us today, you can have a credit line of whatever amount of dollars at 0% for a year, maybe a year or 3 months. But when you get out of that, the lowest rate you're gonna get is like 18% or 17%, 16.99%. The highest is like 28. So you're gonna have people who apply for credit cards, and they're gonna be in massive debt from either helping themselves or helping other people. You're seeing people in trade industries, let's just say mechanics, home repair. You're seeing people overcharge, so you see the inflation went up, and a lot of people are overcharging for their labor because they're not getting as many customers as they used to get. So you see this constant influx. And basically, for the people who have the money, it's a hit, but not a serious hit. For the people who are in the middle class, you might have to start making some business decisions. I can't, no cable. Half of these little apps got to go, or most of these apps got to go. Internet service, it's kind of with a coworker of mine. He was like, man, tell me I got unlimited internet, and then call me about I might be going over my limit. You're like, how that go? How that go? And then you got, say the internet providers. Well, that was a phone service. I'm sorry. That was a phone. That was a smartphone. That was a phone plan that had unlimited minutes, unlimited internet. And then they tried to go, hey man, you can't use a certain amount. It's like, wait, it's unlimited, right? And then you have these other providers who, oh man, we have these internet plans, and the plans keep going up in price, but the service, it used to be unlimited, now it's a terabyte. So, and there's really no tracking of if you're using that amount or not. It's just fictitious numbers. So I'm saying all that to say, and not to mention you have younger people, younger adults and teenagers who I guess we've spoiled, and they're wasting money left and right because of their own materialism. They're not reading the room as far as financial literacy goes, right? And some of us taught them to be like that. So at the end of the day, who are they going to lean on? Who are they going to call? And it's probably going to be somebody in the middle class. And is this going to stop, after the government shutdown? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're going to see a lot of people miss out on Christmas. It might be a good thing for most people. I don't have to, I ain't got to pay for stuff. I don't got to expect stuff, but at the same time, what about the Christmas meal? You know what I'm saying? Just like the Thanksgiving meals, man. Turkeys might come up short. They might come up short this year, like, we can't do it. Might can do a whole chicken, but we ain't doing turkey. All of the things that get affected, you're going to see maybe less DoorDash, Uber Eats, right? People can't afford it. And when I say that, I say that because I saw a thing there, Amazon laid off people. I think UPS laid off people. And it goes with every time somebody gets a raise, the raise was great, but then the layoffs came right after it, right? And for all the people who are getting laid off, especially with when people like to talk about AI, artificial intelligence, all you people doing these middle management positions, okay. All these people doing these middle management positions that have gotten overpaid for not really doing work, they letting y'all off for AI. All you inefficient workers that's been at companies for however long, and you comfortable, you feel like I could do what I want, you gotta go. I heard somebody say, if you weren't under the umbrella of an essential worker during the pandemic, your job may be obsolete or on the way to being obsolete. Not just this year, but in the next few years. And you got to start asking the questions. Like, can people make it? You got all these young folks, and I hate to do it, but some of these young folks are saying stuff like, hey man, we can't afford housing, we got having kids because we can't afford daycare. We can't afford this stuff. But too many of y'all was in the car culture and fashion. Too many of y'all had was into that Hellcat culture and Scat Pack culture, and when you couldn't afford it. Not when you could, but when you couldn't. Too many of y'all, and I'm gonna be as honest as I can. A lot of y'all who are in a certain age bracket, what happened was a lot of y'all were middle class kids from middle class families, and y'all were still kind of living off of y'all middle class parents. And once y'all got to the age of 26, 26, 27, when your parents got you off their health insurance, and now all the responsibility is on you, the world costs too much. So now you got that issue. It was cool to go out to eat when you can always go home. It was cool to go kick it, and go to concerts and events and pay for expensive clothes that really don't look good, but whatever. And y'all have all these collections of things, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but all the stuff you spent all that wasteful money on, that's got to ride you probably through the next 5-10 years, because now you're going to be on your own. And then you see this online thing where, when people used to say they didn't want to do 50-50 in a relationship, you start to see people go, hey man, I might have to do some 50-50, because who is rough out here? 50% of my lifestyle is going out the window because I can't handle 100 right now. So you're hearing that conversation, and I talked about that years ago. It's like, it's gonna happen. I talked about the financial polygamy thing, where you're gonna find people who they're, let's just say, middle class, and they're doing all right, and they can make it. You're gonna see a situation where it's gonna be polygamy because, hey, we can have a relationship with a few people, since we all chipping in. Let's just put it like that. So can the middle class stand around? Because the idea of a traditional family dynamic, husband, wife, kids, husband goes to work, wife stays home, that doesn't really fly anymore financially for the vast majority of Americans. I remember somebody said 60% of America is living paycheck to paycheck. So 40% of America is good, but the majority isn't. And then you got to ask the question, like, why are people living paycheck to paycheck? Sometimes it's just that's their financial situation, and sometimes it's things happen in life, and you had money, but now you got to put that money to this kind of experience. And the other thing is, like I talked about before, is all of these rising costs of living. So now, at the end of the day, is it about to be a dog eat dog world? Because I don't think the middle class can take care of people in poverty right now for an extended period of time. I think the middle class might have to fend for the middle class before, I can help 2 people. I can't help 10 people, or let's just say 5 people. Be a little bit more, realistic. Let me say it that way. Because people can't help it. And part of this whole social media thing, I see a lot of people on social media, a lot of people going live, doing work hours. When I would think you would be at work, you're going live. And you see a lot of that increase in social media because people are trying to make money, because it's another avenue to make money, right? So you're seeing more people YouTubing, TikTok, Instagram, trying to, build their page up, build their content up, build their brand. And you're starting to realize that, because we've heard the stories of people making a good living just uploading material on the internet. But in order to do that, you're going to need internet service, right? You're gonna need some things. So you're seeing people bumming it. And the reason I bring this up, I saw a clip on Instagram. I mean, and a lot of these things are, some of these things are real life and some of these things are skits. So they had this clip where this young lady was showing off, a stack of cash that she had. And it's like a father came in and was like, "What you doing with all that money?" So she was like, "I dance." And he kicked out. Like, okay, you're not gonna be in my house being a stripper showing the world you got all this money, but then, no, you go out into the real world. Because a lot of people don't realize the middle class has been dependable and responsible for a lot of, in a general sense. But it's been dependable on people that if people, let's just say, made it to the top and then they fell off, they landed in the middle class with somebody looking out for them. If people were at the lower end of the economic spectrum and they got pulled up to somebody in the middle class, by somebody in the middle class, normally. So now you got an issue because it might not be a wise move to even let people know you're in the middle class when the country is struggling. It might not be cool to say, "Look, man, I'm getting by while people are struggling." It might not be a good thing now. Because it's just, like I said, it's not the onslaught from just people who are poor. It's the onslaught from all of these corporations who are going to keep raising the cost. Because what you see is you're seeing less and less people participating in some of America's traditional businesses. And I talked about that before, where the auto industry, automobile industry, the car industry has one problem on one side where the cars cost too much, and another problem on another side where people Uber too much. So how do you get out of that situation? You raise the price of the cars for the people who actually can buy them. And then you have a situation where the cars, when you actually take care of them, they last longer. And people are sick of going to the dealership to get cars fixed because you're getting overcharged for minimal real work. And the cars, you took your car to the dealership, even if it's under warranty, $5,000, $4,000, $3,000, $6,000. You're like, wait a minute, dog. You're taking your stuff to mechanics, they charging you, thousands of dollars, and you realizing, hey man, it took you a month to figure this out, and you do this for a living. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. You're seeing a lot of business out there. Yeah, I get it. So you're seeing a lot of people doing business that way. And what you wind up with is, and I've seen this in a general sense, I've seen a lot of people in the middle class go, okay, I'm going to either learn how to do some of this stuff myself, I'm going to be in the middle class and I'm going to get a side hustle, or I'm going to start getting a skill and I'm going to start, and not only for myself, I'm going to use my skill set to help out some of the people that I know, and we just going to trade skills and services. You know what I'm saying? This person has a cleaning business. This person, can fix let's just say HVAC or whatever. This person can fix cars, and swap it out like that. Because basically everybody's going to get overcharged. And everybody's, like he said, everybody's becoming a target. You're seeing this over and over again. You're seeing less, and I've said it before, you're going to see less and less people, less and less, how can I say this? There's a different scene from young adults and older adults. And what usually happens is this. Young adults don't have as much discretionary funds as older adults, right? So the young adult girls go to the spots where the older guys are that are established. So then you're gonna get this thing where the younger girls looking for an older guy. He don't gotta be that much. You know what I'm saying? If she's 25, she might go 35, 40, depending on how the guy look. Right? That type of thing. And they're gonna go there. And basically what's gonna happen is, some of these guys ain't looking for um, a relationship. Some of the older women, they're mad, they're upset even in the dating because they're older and these men want sex. And it's like, okay, well, have sex with them. Like, if you like them, I don't want to. And it's like, okay, because some of these some of the women that's in the middle class, they want company and companionship, but not necessarily sex all the time. You get what I'm saying? Or I want a man to come and take all of the weight of all of my responsibilities off of me, which ain't finna happen. Because as you get older, you realize, hey man, one of the reasons I was broke is because I was wasting money on, let's just say, unnecessary relationships or one-sided relationships or something like that. And then when it comes to the other stuff, I got to get into this aspect of just the family political dynamic. When it comes to this other stuff, man, you see a lot of people in the middle class starting to get away from the Democrats and get away from the Republicans because it's like, yo, all of these promises y'all made, all of these plans y'all made, I ain't seeing nothing from it. I thought if you was doing what you said, we were going to end up at this space. And what it looks like either way is the rich get richer, the poor get poor, the middle class gets overcharged. That's what it looks like. So now you have that issue where you're going to start seeing people, rescind their political affiliation. Like, I don't care about none of that. It's at a point where this is affected. It hasn't just affected the way people see politics. It affected the way people see politicians because, like, okay, y'all don't really work. I work 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Y'all work, half of the year, and you can't get nothing done. And you work for corporations that's paying you to make sure you overcharge me, and I'm supposed to vote for you. So it's like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. And people have all these excuses of, hey man, we can't do this, we can't do that the next time. So people are running out of next times. You get what I'm saying? People are running out of next times. And people don't want to hear that, but that's the thing. And when I say middle class, man, financially is one thing. And as you get older, it's a different thing because some of y'all might have, your parents might be older and they may move in or they may get sick and they may be in hospice. You may get sick and it goes crazy. Appreciate that, CJ. And it goes crazy that way. Your kids get older, and your kids can vacillate as they become adults. So I'm grown, but I can't afford being grown. I'm back with you. Like all of the things that people thought about the middle class has been shrinking to the point where you don't see as many people, you don't see as many people posting traveling. Let me go here. Let me go there. Let me do this. Let's take the family here. It's like, nah, we ain't going nowhere, G. And if I do go, I'm not telling you because, we're not doing this anymore. Like people have heard about Vegas dying. People don't go to Vegas as much. Then I was kind of with my own boy about this. I said, man, people gonna start gambling. You see the online gambling go up because you got people, from rich people to poor people. So everybody is trying to, in some way or another, hit a parlay for some extra money. You know what I'm saying? This is how bad the economy has gotten, to the point where, man, it's crazy. And I'm gonna add something to that. If you notice, even the lottery, it went from $1 to $2 to $5, and you rarely see people win it. And it's weird. It's like, dang, hold up. So it started at 40 million, and it go to 400 million, 600 million, because I think that's where it's at now. And it goes to a billion. Nobody really wins, and it's months and months. And you're thinking to yourself, dang, yo, what are we doing? Like, even if people play the lottery, it's just it's nobody winning a million here, 4 million here, 6 million here. It's not that anymore. So you ain't even spreading out the wealth with that. You know what I'm saying? so now you got people, oh man, we've been playing the lotto for 4 months straight. Nobody won. Nothing. So now it looks, everything looks like it's an issue. My dog wants to go outside. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to mute myself and be back in 10, 15 seconds. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. I've seen Weisberg get $2 of gas. Right. Oh, I went to what was that? Costco. And Costco used to be the place where, Costco, Sam's Club, that's the place you go when you want to save money. You can buy in bulk. You can buy stuff, and it's like, yo, even this is starting to look like it's not a deal, because basically, it's less to buy in bulk, unless you buy like water or toilet paper, maybe toothpaste, but not even soap and all that. It's not really hitting like it used to. You get what I'm saying? So now you're just buying these products that cost an arm and a leg in just a big old superstore. So now you got to start asking the question like, yo, what are we gonna do if this stuff really hits the fan? And it's like, what you mean? If it's already hit the fan. So now we got another issue. Like I said, can a middle class stand the rain? Because I'm glad you said that about the Tahoe. My bad, I'm tripping. When I go to Costco and I'm driving my car in there, I realize, you can see the look on some people's face, like, I gotta fill this motherfucker up, man. Like, God, like, just how many gallons of gas this car take? 20? 25? Oh, no. You driving every day, and everybody who knows, when you're driving in traffic to go to work, people, y'all don't realize some people driving 30, 40 miles one way. So 60 miles a day to go to your job. And that's why people start tripping, because I want to work from home, because I can actually save money by being at home. But the job don't want you to be at home. You got to come into work. And it's like, bro, I'm spending hundreds of dollars a month driving here for 37 meetings, and I can do this stuff at home. It's like, no, we can't allow that no more. So now, not to mention, if you go, that part of it, Then you got the part of it where you gotta go get lunch. You gotta go get lunch. Now, and anybody tell y'all, man, if you know, you got people at work that pack their lunch every day, that family pack their lunch every day, and you got people that eat lunch from time to time or every day. And you can tell it's $10, $13, $15. And then you got the vending, they still got vending machines now. The vending machines at work ridiculous. You're like, bro, a bag of chips, $3? I ain't using this vending machine no more. And it's like, man, this is crazy. This has become crazy to the point where can the middle class deal with it? And the issue is we don't know. You say those prices are cheap. Oh, in Cali, that's a whole different story. I don't know, man, y'all can have that. Like California, New York, y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. New Jersey, y'all can have that. Florida, you see, like people have, when I was talking about the cost of housing, the cost of housing it got so bad. Some places it's not the housing that's the issue. It's all the fees that's included. It's like, bro, I can't afford all these fees. Y'all just making up fees because now people are put in a situation where if you're doing the right thing, I'm gonna fee you to death. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's $100 or that's $1,000. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Some of y'all, this is why sometimes they outsourcing people's HOAs, because some of you homeowners association people, y'all finna get pew. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Because some of y'all have taken y'all home association power above and beyond what it needed to be, to the point where y'all was just messing with people and screwing people's money and screwing people's times, and sometimes you got egregious and stealing people's homes. Y'all gonna wind up being, on a t-shirt. And it's the same thing for the wealthy folks. Y'all learning, hey man, we can't be out eating tomahawk steaks because these people see us. Yeah, I don't want to buy that car right now because these people see us. These people see us out here with all this stuff. This ain't good. What's gonna happen next? A lot. That's why I say can the middle class stand the rain? Because I don't know who's gonna be able to, and let me say this before I go. All of you people who need help and want somebody to help you, all of you people who like going, need your family and your friends to look out for you, y'all can't bring y'all bad habits to their environment, to their homes, their apartments, their townhomes, because you're going through it. And what I mean is, hey, if your kid, if you got kids and they bad, and your kids messing up somebody's house, they're gonna throw you out on the street. If you one of them messy people that just don't clean up after yourself, you ask for help, they're gonna throw you out on the street. If you one of them people that say I need to get on my feet, but you look at it, well, I'm on, you know what, I'm here now, I'm gonna just go ball out with this little money, you finna get thrown out on the street. Because a lot of y'all don't realize how much it costs. Because depending on where you at, it's about to be winter, it's about to get colder. Y'all don't know, the electric bill goes down, but the gas bill goes up. Don't nobody need y'all being super comfortable in somebody else's home, apartment. Y'all, some of y'all gaming, y'all playing video games all day, and it's like, hey man, this is what I do. Hey dog, no, this is not what you do. You're not gonna be here on the internet all day with the TV on all day, with the AC on all day, and then electric bill go from $200 to $500, $600, $700, and you just sitting there, but I'm having fun. A lot of people gonna have to grow up. Y'all gonna have to get rid of a lot because ain't nobody playing the games with you. But for now, I'm gonna stop here for now because I'm gonna do some videos or whatever. But I'm gonna get out of here because I just wanted to say that real quick, man. It's gonna be an issue. It's really gonna be an issue, man. And the middle class may make it, it may not. If 100% of the middle class is going through this next wave, 50% might be out of the middle class when it's over. So that's just my 2 cents. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I'm broke, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you should follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.